there was the coming back of this era very soon. So this stage was very short-lived. Now Islam entered this subcontinent from the northwest through Afghanistan 300 years after this invasion of Sindh. During these 300 years, 3 centuries, many external influences had entered Islam. The Greek logic, the Greek philosophy, Neoplatonic mysticism. So to say, it was Arabian, Iranian and Turkish Islam which came to the subcontinent. A mixture of 3. Originally Arab, then the Iranian, Persian, and then the Turkish. What were the main features of this Islam? Number 1, Quran had receded in the background, faded background. Why? Number 1, because when Islam entered from the stage of struggle and jihad, a revolutionary struggle, into a state, now a state was established. So now law became more important than the inspiration from Quran. This is the natural change. Number 2, when there was monarchy, there was, people were loving wealth, gathering, accumulating wealth, absentee landlordism. So the people at the helm of affairs didn't want that people should read Quran. They will see the real picture of Islam. And in that mirror, if they will look upon us, there will be a negative influence. So consciously, Quran was taken back, on the back burner. Instead, hadith and fiqh, the jurisprudence, they were the focus of attention. 4 schools, big schools of fiqh, rather 5 we can say, had been established till that time. But the school of fiqh that came into Indian subcontinent was Hanafi, the one started by Imam Abu Hanifa. Then there had been invented Ilmul Kalam, scholasticism. The Mu'tazili, the Ash'ari, the Maturidi, and a mixture of this also was imported into the subcontinent. Then there was a mysticism, and it had Neoplatonic influences in it, external. So there was also an integral part of this Islam which entered subcontinent round about the 10th century of Christian era. And this was the condition from that time till the 18th century. There were Muslim rulers, there were muftis, legal people who can give legal opinion, fatwas. There were qazis, magistrates, deciding the disputes and affairs according to the Sharia. And there were the khatibs in the mosque to deliver the khutbah of Jum'ah, Friday. And they were also paid by the government, not independent. These 3 positions were government positions, bureaucratic positions. Khatib in the mosque, Jame mosque. There used to be an ordinary mosque for 5 prayers a day. No khutbah, no lecture whatsoever. No sermon. The sermon was restricted to Friday. And that was delivered by the people, appointed by the government. Just as we have today in Turkey and we have today in Saudi Arabia, etc., etc. So, there were kings, there were these ulama, and everyone had with his name Hanafi and either Qadri or Naqshbandi. These are the schools of the mysticism. But this was the condition when the British entered India from Bengal, eastern end. After the coming and conquest of India by the Britishers, the division between state and religion, which had already taken place, the political power was with those who had might. Might was right. A tribe is stronger, he will take. Babur was stronger, he defeated Ibrahim Lodi and he became the emperor here. It has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. The religion was with the khatibs, with the qazis, with the muftis. But now this division became more apparent because the Britishers were ruling. And if I use my own terminology, now the deen was of the Britishers and Islam was reduced absolutely to the position of a mazhab religion. You can have your own beliefs, okay, we don't object. You can have your modes of worship, 5 prayers, keeping fast in the month of Ramadan, go ahead. Even personal law, yes, you can practice your own personal law. But the criminal code, civil code, taxation, all these things would be ours. Along with the Britishers came 2 things. Christianity. The first center of the propagation of Christianity was in Bengal. Bible was translated into Urdu. And it was spread like anything. The government was doing it. And number 2, a civilization. The Western civilization came. Number 3, English language and physical sciences and Western thought. These things came in India. Now to this situation there were 2 reactions from among the Muslim intellectuals of India. I discussed this thing in detail in one of my pamphlets, Islamic Renaissance, the real task ahead. So I would request you to go through that pamphlet. There were 2 reactions, as I said.
Could you tell the name again? Islamic
Renaissance or Renaissance. The real task ahead. The first reaction was purely defensive, based on the pragmatic view that we are not in a position to attack on these new influences that are coming. Western thought, Western civilization, and especially the physical sciences. Hence we should go and sit in the corners and keep with us the Quran and the Sunnah and the Fiqh, trying to keep them alive for the next generations to come, lest they rot off permanently. This was the reaction of some ulama, and especially on this basis, some of